What is up, YouTube? Welcome in and welcome back. So today, with the passing of Gordon Lightfoot, I figured I'd take a look back at him. Um, he was a singer when I was young. I remember him very well. I was learning to play guitar. Uh, he was kind of one of the main people that back in that day in the '70s that actually played a 12 string all the time. Um, and he was in a time when there was a lot of what was called folk music, but he was doing basically Canadian folk music, particularly the the record Edmund Fitzgerald, that song, which is I think was his biggest hit because it was so big in Canada. But in the states, this song "Sundown" was huge, and and if you could read my mind was another song that was really big. And big is kind of a relative term because folk music was kind of in a bit of a niche, but it was bigger than it is now back then because you had people like Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, James Taylor. All those people were around putting out music back then, and then you had other kind of little harder rockers like Janis Joplin and stuff doing stuff. So there was a lot of different uh, kinds of music going on back then. But yeah, I want to kind of do one last check out on Gordon Lightfoot. So let's check this out.
I can see her lying back in her satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. She's been looking like a queen in a sailor's dream, and she don't always say what she really means. Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. I can picture every move that a man could make. Getting lost in her loving is your first mistake. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel like I'm winning when I'm losing again.
Yeah, I think this guitar player here was with him for quite a while, um, and I think it's interesting. Everybody now has built-in pickups on their guitars. They all had to mic their guitars.
I can see her looking fast in her faded jeans. She's a hard-loving woman, got me feeling mean. Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown, you better take care if I find sin when I feel like I'm winning, when I'm losing again.
Yeah, that was definitely takes you back to a time. Uh, it was it was when I was learning to play guitar and trying to learn some of these songs. Um, there was a lot of different music that wasn't what you call hard rock at that time. Again, it was kind of considered folk music. Um, but yeah, it was a time of coffee houses and people just playing. I was telling a friend of mine how back in that time in the '70s, I live in Washington D.C. and there's a section of Washington called Georgetown, which is if you go down there, it's nothing but fancy restaurants and clothing stores and bars and nightlife. Back in the '70s, it was a hippie hangout, and there was nothing but record stores and head shops and places to grab food and people sitting out on the street, playing guitars and stuff like that. Literally sitting on the corner playing guitars. Um, but yeah, they kind of cleaned that up after a while and decided they needed to be more upscale. So anyway, yeah, um, the guy was, he was a musician in his own making. He wasn't like trying to be like somebody else. He was Gordon Lightfoot. And he had his own sound. So anyway, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below, and if you found this interesting, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you later. Bye.